Hey, it's Tuesday already. Folks, my album Future Still is available worldwide. The label FPE is a small label, but it has international distribution. On the first round, I know that folks in Sweden, my friend Anita in Poland, she bought a copy. I heard from folks in Germany and Denmark who bought copies. So I've had people asking me through personal messages if they can get it in Europe, and the answer is yes. Um, Order it through your record store. I saw that the album is being distributed by one of the major independent record distributors in the U.S. I forget the name of the company, but I'm being carried like any other record. I am not getting any copies, any further copies from the. I haven't requested any because I have my personal copies, and at this point, I'm still not interested in playing live, so I don't need any merchandise to sell personally right at this time. Um, People are going out to shows a lot, and apparently, people are going to shows and doing it safely. Apparently, right? You all let me know. I don't know that I'm overreacting, but I'm not. I was never a big going out person. I go out to for a purpose, and my main purpose is to play. So I don't go out to drink, and I don't go to a lot of shows anymore. So are people actually able to go to shows and stay safe? I hope that's the case. But Future Still, you can get my album. I'm real jazzed about this. Real jazzed about this. Grab it. It's worth it. As I said yesterday, I had no plans, and so I really did have a fairly uneventful day. I didn't work on anything, and sometimes that's good. As I think Kevin Garcia said, that no plan is a plan. I'll agree with that. It was a lovely day. It really was. I had finished watching the Ducky Simpson 6 hours. Much respect to that man. Much respect. Yeah, he is owed millions by Island Records and the other labels. It's never made sense to me, and it still doesn't make sense to me, that the artist does not automatically profit share in deals. In all deals, the artist. This is one of the times when I like to use the word should, because I don't like the word should. Artists should profit share always, as opposed to being put on a salary. This is where all the income is coming from, and the source of the income doesn't reap the primary benefit. And this has been the model of the entertainment industry forever. Isn't that ridiculous? It is. I'd like to speak to the person in Ireland and anyone else that people, there's nothing wrong with getting a reaction or a person responding honestly to something. People are so concerned about being offended or offending people or political correctness or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but it's madness. I'm referring to someone that asked me if I would refer to myself as a utilitarian. Was that the term? And my response was, I just really don't want a label. And the person responded that, yeah, it's a personal perspective for them, and that's fine. The fact that I reflect back that I don't, if you have to call me that, that's fine. But am I going to call myself that? No, that's really what it is. Ain't no problem there. Okay? There's no problem at all in interacting with people it would be to our benefit if we felt comfortable to honestly respond to one another without worrying about how the other person's going to react. I really don't. I try to be thoughtful about the things I say so that I say them fairly clearly. But something again that I learned through my work, and it makes a real whole lot of sense to me. I'm responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for your reaction. I know what I mean, but that doesn't mean that it comes across to every person through my words. Each person's perception is theirs. It's not mine. Okay? So it's not a problem to have a difference of opinion. The problem is when people are rude, unkind, and antisocial. That's the problem. So a few records before I go. I pulled some compilations that I hadn't listened to in a while. Burning of the Midnight Sun, Uniton Records. I believe this is out of Norway. Yes, it's a Norwegian label. Popol Vuh is on this label. Tim Story, Liz Story's brother, they both make piano music. Fra Lippi and Holy Toy and Depress are on here as well. It's a cool label. Didn't play this last night, but I'm going to today. The soundtrack to Wattstax. Some call it the Black Woodstock. There's a movie about Wattstax. Isaac Hayes, Staple Singers, Eddie Floyd. You know, the big names associated with the label Stax Records. Isaac Hayes was a role model for me too, if you all would like to know. When Hot Buttered Soul came out, he was so cool with his bald head. I already knew about him because of his songwriting and his producing, but he really seemed to be on top of his game. I paid attention to Isaac Hayes. Here's one that was in the comps, but it's not a comp because it's kind of a one-off oddity that I received through being here on YouTube. And if the person that sees this that sent this to me sees this, I'm going to apologize again. This was sent to me, and what it is it's a test pressing by Glenn Schwartz, the original guitarist from James Gang, who became a born-again Christian, the type that's has to preach. And I probably still have the letters somewhere, but the letter that accompanied this test pressing by Gary Schwartz was just over the top. You know, that this is the best thing since sliced bread, and this is this great lost album. And it's not. It sounds like Gary playing at home. Turn the recorder on, see what happens. There's moments that it's interesting. A lot of it is just, I would never let anyone hear me playing like this. But I came across that in my records. I said, this is an oddity. This is unusual. This is probably a one of a kind. Anybody else have Gary Schwartz's test pressing of the album he never released? It starts off with a religious, the typical thing, you know. Won't you come to Jesus? Very strange. I don't mean to piss the person off that sent it to me, but that's just, damn, that's weird. Shit's weird. Back when Devo was Devo, like almost everything, when something happens and money calls, everybody jumps. And so for a minute, Akron, Ohio was hot because of Devo. And so they put out this Akron compilation through Stiff Records. I bought it when it first came out, and then I sold it. This is a reissue. But it's got other bands of note and other bands you never heard of. But Tin Huey, Rubber City Rebels are on here. Rachel Sweet, she broke through kind of. Chai Pig, okay. And they got the purple. It's a good compilation, and all the bands sound unique. That was part of what was going on with the thing with the Devo and the Ohio scene. And Pere Ubu kind of got lumped in there because of their proximity in Cleveland, I think. But the bands were sounding pretty unique, not your typical fare. And that was cool. Runa Gramophone, for a minute, was sending me some stuff to review. And I understand that ended for a number of reasons. It's expensive, and also I liked what they sent me, but I know that I didn't make any reviews that were incendiary. I probably didn't necessarily help sell any records, but they sent me this one vinyl album by Hedvig Mollestad Trio, All Them Witches. This woman plays hellacious guitar, and just again shows how it's not about gender. It's really not about a gender. It's not about gender. It's about ability and what's happening with the person and the instrument. This is very, heavy, progressive, hard, metally at times. Well, no, actually, no. Her tone and the way they play is not metal, but it's heavy. Kind of King Crimson heavy, sort of, but not sounding like King Crimson. Do you catch what I'm trying to say? This is really good. Runa Gramophone is a great label. That's what I want to share this morning. So far, no one's actually bought a t-shirt. They've expressed interest, but I've received no actual money orders. It's no big deal to me. It's not why I'm here. Last thing I want to say is I heard from some folks saying that they appreciated my stance on the Ukraine, and I'll just say it again. My stance on the Ukraine and every place else is humanitarian. We're tired of war. I'm going to say it collectively. I am, but we, people, we're tired of war. It never accomplishes anything. And wars, anyone that studies history, and I'm no expert, but I do look at history. The major wars that we've been fighting past the First World War, they're all based on lies. It's just so sad. It's just so sad that in the 21st century, mankind is still stupidly going to war. Nothing will be gained. Nothing good is going to be gained. And it's completely out of my hands. But I got to just say these things, some of you understand. It's like it just helps to just say, God damn, this shit's bullshit. I don't like this world the way it's going at all. This is not what I want. Part of when the Smiths came out and Morrissey's words, to me they could be applied to so many things, from personal to universal. I think of the song "Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want." So many of us on a personal level experience that it seems like we never get what we really want. And I relate to that song on that level to a degree, but in the larger sense of the world and the world I see, that's my song. I just like to see some real work towards sane solutions, and I'm never going to see it coming from people who are in positions of power and business. Their focus is the business and the profit, and just running us over a cliff. Okay, I know I said it before, but that's what I have to say. I'll talk to you later. Order my album. It's going to sell out.